What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to episode 80 of the Be Great podcast. On today's episode, we are reviewing week 4 of college football. Week 4 of college football told us a lot. I'm going to get into the 4 games that I believe told us the most. They were 4 games that I all had in my pick'ems for week 4. I went a tremendous 8-2. The 2 that I lost or that I got wrong, we will be talking about. Um, Man, if I had if I had just made it simple and just picked Miami, then I could be sitting here 9-1. But trust me, we'll get into that. Um, but yeah, 8-2 is a solid week of game picks. I sit at 31-19 on the season so far. At least I think that's right. I think 31-19 is correct. I could be completely wrong about that. That math doesn't math for some reason. I'll count it up later, though. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. So, here's the thing. We're going to start. Where should we start? There's 4 games I really want to talk about here. We'll start with Texas Tech, Utah. How about that? Texas Tech, Utah. One of the ones I got wrong. I picked Utah to win this game. I got to tell you, Texas Tech was impressive. Texas Tech was very impressive. In the beginning of this game, it felt like neither team really wanted to win. Baron Morton had zero touchdowns, 2 picks. He looked very rough early on in this game. Will Hammond came in, though, and it looked like the team got better, to be honest with you. It looked like Will Hammond, he could be a star, man. He could be a star. Devin Dampier on the Utah side had a very rough day. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He was 25 for 38, 162 yards passing, very uninspiring. And overall, I think I was honestly just most surprised about in the second half, fourth quarter specifically, that Utah defense just crumbled and fell, and they just didn't look good in the fourth quarter. And here's my thing. I think this could be a rematch in the Big 12 championship game 100%. Which in that case, I'm happy that this game happened early in the season. But I could totally see this being a rematch in the Big 12 championship. There's some other teams involved in that. TCU picked up a win against SMU. They're undefeated still. Arizona State is still in it. They beat Baylor this past weekend. There's a lot of teams still in it, but I'm telling you, I feel like this could be a rematch in the Big 12 championship, and I'm here for it. They both look like good teams. I'm impressed with Texas Tech. I had Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship, to be fair. And I had them winning it. So that prediction is looking quite good right now. Do I think either one of these teams are a threat, specifically Texas Tech? Do I think Texas Tech is a threat nationally? Do I think they're a national title contender? Absolutely not. I think when it comes to the Big 12, I think all those teams, I think the highest I could see a team from the Big 12 going is winning a playoff game. I don't think that conference right now is in a place where they will have a team that's going to be a national title contender anytime soon, just to be frank. And look, I feel that way about the ACC as well. But the ACC does have those 2 or 3 teams, Clemson, Florida State, and Miami, who at least one of them usually will be really good each year. And look, Clemson's obviously fallen off. Florida State has clearly gotten better. I don't think anyone would call them a national title contender, and we'll get to Miami later. But I just think this is SEC Big Ten world, and the Big 12 and ACC are just living in it. I just got to be honest. Oklahoma Auburn. Man. So what came out of this game, other than Oklahoma winning and Auburn losing, was Auburn fans complaining about FCC, goodness, SEC officiating, claiming that they got the game stolen from them and this, that, and the other. And look, I watched the majority of the game. I get it. Yeah, should that have been a defensive pass interference? Yes. Yes, it should have been. It should have been a defensive pass interference. Should that have been a legal play by Oklahoma for the touchdown where the guy basically had a fake substitution? No, it probably shouldn't have been a touchdown. Can I be honest with you for a second, though? I don't think I care. I don't think I care. Let me explain something. I have met a lot of Auburn fans in my life. And with Auburn being one of Georgia's major rivals, I interact with quite a few Auburn fans every year. And I don't like them, just to be clear. Now, they're not my most hated fan base. That belongs to Tennessee. But they're up there. They're absolutely up there. So when I see this and I hear the complaining and I hear the, oh my gosh, we just got the game stolen from us. I can't believe this is happening. Yada, yada, yada. I got to tell you, I don't think I care. I don't think I care because you know what? There is an Auburn YouTube channel. And I'm not going to tell you their name. They don't deserve any views. They don't deserve any notoriety. They were just so brazenly confident that Auburn was going to beat Georgia this year. That Jackson Arnold was going to be in New York for the Heisman. And look, I understand fandom. I am a fan of Georgia. I'm not out here saying Gunnar Stockton's going to be in New York for the Heisman. I'm not out here being stupid. I'll give my pick for Georgia, Alabama on Thursday. And yeah, I'm going to pick Georgia. But I'm going to be honest and tell you, like, yeah, I'm picking Georgia. Am I confident? When it comes to Georgia, Alabama, I'm never really confident. Going to be honest. But you see, there's fan bases in the SEC. And it's usually of teams that haven't won a national title recently. Like of teams that are historically mid, where they have fans that just constantly are delusional. Tennessee is one of them. Auburn is another one. Florida, who we'll get to later, is another one. I would say Texas is another one, but at least Texas has been really good recently. But the main three, though, the main culprits of this are Auburn, Tennessee, and Florida fans. All three of them. Cannot stand them. But I've gotten way off track. John Mateer had a nice game. He played good enough. This game, to me, says more about Oklahoma than it does about Auburn. What it tells me is that Oklahoma is a good football team. They're not a great football team. What it tells me is that Oklahoma can upset some great teams in the SEC, but Oklahoma is not winning the SEC championship. They're not an SEC title contender. And the reason I say that is because I had a feeling this game was going to be close, but I think Oklahoma is significantly better than Auburn, and that did not show it. That game did not show it in the slightest, with Oklahoma being at home. So that it concerns me. It concerns me. I mean, why is John Mateer your leading rusher for 29 yards, by the way? Why? Why is he your leading rusher? That's unacceptable. Your quarterback cannot be your, especially John Mateer of all people. Like, if Jackson Darnold were the leading rusher for Auburn for one game, that would make sense. By the way, he wasn't. Jeremiah Cobb ran the ball 6 times for 61 yards, averaged 10 yards a carry. The Oklahoma offense was quite uninspiring. And I like John Mateer. But that run game needs to get it figured out. That offensive line definitely needs to get it figured out. I think Auburn's going to be a solid 8-4 team this year. That's what I kind of thought they were going to be before the year started. But, we'll see where each team goes from here. I can tell you this, that Oklahoma-Texas game going to be very interesting. And I think that Oklahoma-Texas game is going to be very low scoring. If Arch continues to play as badly as he's been playing, no, I don't care. He played good against Sam Houston State and stared down a Sam Houston State kid who's probably going to be working at your local Home Depot in a few years. I do not care. I do not care. Let's see him do that against an actual team worth something. Not these 3 cupcakes he has faced the past 3 weeks. By the way, one of them, UTEP, he looked terrible. But that Texas defense is really good. I mean, I could see Oklahoma, Texas being another 14-7 boring game similar to Ohio State, Texas. I really could. Which, of course, now that I said that, it's going to end up being like 40-30 for some reason. Indiana, Illinois. Oh, boy. See, these last 2, I just couldn't wait. I could not wait to talk about these last 2. What did I tell you about Illinois? What did I tell you? I told you that these Fighting Illini were frauds. Frauds. I told you that. And what did I tell you? I said Indiana has the better quarterback, they have the better head coach, and they're at home. And boy, all 3 of those things look so true. So true. I told you about Illinois. I told you. And of course, now everyone today is taking the exact wrong message. What is everyone saying today? Oh, Indiana beat a top 10 team. Oh, God. Please. Oh, please. Illinois is not actually a top 10 team. I do not care if the AP poll had them ranked at 9. I do not care. Illinois, to any logical ball knower, is not a top 10 team, was never a top 10 team, still isn't a top 10 team, never will be a top 10 team. Indiana did not beat a top 10 team. Indiana beat a middle-of-the-road team. That's who they beat. But everyone's going to take the wrong message. Because guess what? I think Indiana's a solid football team. Trust me when I tell you, they're not as good as you think they are. Trust me when I tell you that, and trust me, they will expose themselves at some point. The time will come for that. Trust me. I knew the whole Luke Altmaier stuff was just so stupid. I knew it. And boy, did this guy show it. 14 for 22, 146 yards passing, 43 QBR. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Meanwhile, Fernando Mendoza, who I love Fernando Mendoza, 21 for 23, 267 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no picks. He had as many touchdowns, throwing touchdowns, passing touchdowns, as DJ had interceptions against LSU. You know what? Speaking of DJ, I just hit my mic there for a second because I got so excited. Speaking of DJ Lagway. Oh, man. It's Hey, at least he didn't throw an interception this week, huh? At least he didn't throw an interception this week, I guess. You know, it's sad. Do you know what's sad? People are going to take the wrong thing from this game, and I've already seen it. I've seen it like 5 YouTube videos pop up on my feed where the thumbnail is and the title is Miami is the most complete team in college football. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Are we serious right now? Are we actually serious? Did you watch the game? Carson Beck was just so average. Even if he was even that, honestly, you could probably define it as mediocre. 17 for 30, 160 yards passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception. A 51 QBR. And you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that this is a new Carson Beck. This is the Carson Beck of old. And by the way, I'm getting sick and tired of the media saying, oh, well, Georgia fans were just so critical of Carson. The media was just as critical, if not more so, of Carson. Stop pretending like Georgia fans were just in this bubble. We were the only ones criticizing Carson. Oh, give me a break. I heard all offseason, every time from the commentators, this just doesn't look like the same Carson Beck. I don't know what's going on. And guess what? He still looks broken. Watch the Miami-Florida game and then go back and watch him in the bad games he had with Georgia last year. It looks the exact same. He has flashes, but he just makes mistake after mistake after mistake. If Florida had even a decent offense, they win this game. Miami was so bad offensively. So bad. But luckily for them, DJ Lagway is terrible. He can't read simple defenses. 12 for 23. Ladies and gentlemen, he had 61 yards passing. Yes, you heard me right. 61. Only 2 digits. Only 2 digits. Jaden Baugh almost ran for as many yards as DJ Lagway threw the ball for. He averaged 2.7 yards a pass. A 24 QBR. Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? A 24 QBR. Do you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for guys like Jaden Ball. I feel bad for guys like Eugene Wilson III, good football players who deserve to be on a competent football team, who has a competent head coach and a quarterback that doesn't look completely lost. Lost. He looks like he has no clue what is going on the field. No clue. It's honestly mind-blowing. I've never seen a quarterback who has such potential and who could be so good and looked like he had so much potential last year. And a year later we're sitting here and we're like, is this dude is he a real person? Like, can this dude complete a pass? Can this dude be a quarterback for Austin P? I mean, it's awful. Like, look, Billy's done. Okay, that's the reality is Billy is donezo. He's done. He is absolutely done. He is finished. It's not just about the losing. The losing doesn't help. It's about the way you're losing. You are losing because you look completely incompetent. You're losing and you look completely uncompetitive. Because last week you had your quarterback who is supposed to be the one who's supposed to save your job, Billy, and he goes out there and throws 5 interceptions. And then this week, he doesn't throw any interceptions, but he only throws for 61 yards and looks completely lost the entire game. It's not just about losing, it's about the way you're losing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And the fact that Billy hasn't been fired yet, the fact that the notification hasn't popped up on my phone that he's gone is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing. How is this guy not gone already? I'm pretty sure Florida has a bye this weekend. This would have been the perfect time to get his butt out of there. Out of there. Go ahead, fire him, start looking for a new head coach. Start your coach search early. Whether you're going to call Nick Saban and try and bring him out of retirement, whether it's to give Lane Kiffin a call at some point, whether it's to go talk to Golish, the USF head coach, whatever it may be, you better start getting on it now. I heard it today. Oh, what if Dabo Swinney goes to Florida? Oh, please. I will laugh. Oh, again, it was the same thing with Deion. If Florida hires Deion Sanders, I will upload a 30-minute video of nothing but me laughing. If Dabo Swinney becomes the head coach of Florida, it will be a 20-minute long video because it's not as bad as Deion. It's still bad. A guy who doesn't use the portal, who has amazing talent at Clemson, and yet Clemson still looks uncompetitive against Syracuse? That's what you want? Please. I dare Florida. Oh my gosh. I dare them to hire Dabo or Deion. Oh my gosh. It'd be so funny. But here's the thing. I don't think Dabo's going anywhere. I don't think Deion's going anywhere either. To me, this screams Lane Kiffin. It screams Lane Kiffin. And if I'm the Florida athletic director, why would I not go get Lane Kiffin? Will Lane Kiffin win you a national championship? No, at Florida? No, he will not. He's not. He's a good head coach. He's not great. He's not that level. But he can make you relevant again. He can make you look like a competent football team again. Okay? And Florida fans just want this instant gratification. They're like, I want a new head coach and I want to be a contender for the Natty. How about we go one step at a time here? How about we just make you look like a good team? How about we, make a bowl game? How about we win 8 or 9 games? How about we do that first? And we don't look like a complete like pile of trash that's burning. A dumpster fire. That's the word I was looking for. Why don't we just focus on not looking like a dumpster fire first? And Lane Kiffin can do that. He can get you to 8-4. He can get you to 9-3. Heck, maybe he can get you to a 10-2 and a playoff appearance. Those should be our goals first. But don't get it twisted. Miami's not a national title contender. Anyone who tells you that they are did not watch the game. They claim they did. They did not. I promise you that. Because Miami didn't look good. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, maybe DJ Lagway looked lost because the defense is so. No, I think DJ just sucks. I think Billy just sucks. I think that's where we're at. Just being honest. SEC has an announcement tonight. They are going to announce every team's 3 permanent opponents, and they are also going to announce, I'm pretty sure they're also announcing the other SEC teams you're facing for the next 4 years. They're not going to announce the schedule, like in what order, what week you're playing who. They're just announcing the teams you're playing over the next 4 years. The 3 permanent opponents for each team got leaked yesterday. Tennessee got blessed. Look, I understand them keeping Vanderbilt, obviously, them keeping Alabama, obviously, but the Kentucky one doesn't make much sense to me. They should be keeping Florida. I don't understand why Tennessee, Florida is not still going to be a thing. And you gave Florida, Kentucky as well, like that. And you gave Florida, South Carolina. That one makes less sense than Florida. Florida, Kentucky, I can wrap my head around. Florida, South Carolina? What? Call me crazy. I feel like it should be Florida, LSU. All day, every day. LSU, Alabama isn't one, which is shocking. Alabama somehow gets Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State out of this. Don't know how that happens. I mean, Alabama, Auburn, obvious. Alabama, Tennessee, obvious. Alabama's should have been one of the easiest ones to do. It should have been Auburn, Tennessee, LSU. Not that complicated. And yet they put Mississippi State in there. Oops, did not mean to hit my mic. I keep doing that. The Texas ones make sense. Texas has Texas A&M, Arkansas, Oklahoma. That makes sense. Oklahoma's makes sense. Missouri, well, the Ole Miss one is interesting, but Missouri and Texas makes sense. Missouri's makes sense. Arkansas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Them not keeping Arkansas, Texas A&M is a little interesting. Georgia keeps South Carolina, Florida, and Auburn. I kind of figured it was Auburn and Florida were obvious. It was either going to be South Carolina or Kentucky. I kind of wish they would have just done Kentucky for Georgia so that then they could have not done Kentucky for Tennessee and done Florida. But what do I know? The one who got the worst draw out of all these. Auburn got a bad draw, obviously, because they got Alabama, Georgia. They got Vanderbilt, but we'll see what Vanderbilt's like in the future. The worst draw. I mean, Texas's draw is not easy with Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Texas A&M, their draw not pretty. LSU and Texas and Missouri is nothing to sneeze at. Um, LSU didn't get as hard of a draw as I thought they would. Tennessee got blessed with their draw. I'd probably say Auburn, probably Texas A&M got the hardest. That's probably what I would say. LSU, Texas, and Missouri is not fun. But I'm interested to see what the opponents look like for the next 4 years. Um, Speaking on Georgia specifically, I'm curious to see. Obviously, we'll have Auburn, Florida, and South Carolina on there. I'm curious to see if there will, like, who the other 6 will be. You know, like, are there going to be any that we've played these past 2 years? Are we going to Are we going to keep any of those, or is it going to be 6 new? Because if it's 6 new ones, you would have to imagine they'll do LSU, Georgia, and LSU. You'd have to imagine. You would have to imagine Oklahoma will be there for Georgia. Because if I'm just looking at how Georgia's schedule is right now, right? You got your Auburn and your Florida. Okay, you're getting your Kentucky, or not your Kentucky, your South Carolina. That's basically replacing Tennessee, right? You had Texas on your schedule these past 2 years, so they'll probably, instead of, obviously they probably won't do Texas. Instead, they'll probably do Oklahoma. Instead of Bama, it'll probably now be LSU. If you see how I'm thinking about this, they'll probably give you a softball, so they'll probably give you Vanderbilt. Instead of, because like we have Mississippi State this year, so this time we'll probably have Vanderbilt. Who else? That really leaves Arkansas. Georgia hasn't played Arkansas in a while. Missouri will probably be one as well. Then it's for the last 2 spots, I think. It's between Arkansas, Texas A&M. Is it just those 2? So I guess just those 2 then. I guess it's just those 2 then. So I'm assuming that will be the 9. It'll be Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt. That sounds about right. As far as how hard that is, I mean, it depends. I'll miss you, Mississippi State. I'll miss you, Kentucky. Well, that has been episode 80 of the Be Great podcast. I hope you oh my gosh, I can't talk. I hope you enjoy this episode. No, because that'd be like present tense, wouldn't it? I hope you have enjoyed this episode. See, the thought of I'm so scared to play America's Team Vanderbilt these next 4 years that I can't even speak. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. On Thursday, we will have week 5 picks. Cannot wait. Maybe I'll react to what the SEC is announcing tonight. Depends. Might not be a lot to talk about, but we'll see. By the way, Mike Gundy was fired today from Oklahoma State. I looked at a few lists of potential candidates, and all of them were very uninspiring, to say the least. So, don't particularly have high hopes for Oklahoma State at the moment, but it is what it is. Still cannot believe Billy Napier has a job today, but that's okay. Hope everyone has a tremendous Tuesday. We'll be back here on Thursday. Do not forget to go out there and be great.